welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're jumping right into something deeply personal. I'm going to be your guide, kind of like a mentor, taking you on this really profound hero's journey. We're mapping out the exact transition from that initial raw shock of betrayal all the way to an unshakable empowerment of self-awakening. For all you professional adults out there trying to navigate modern romantic commitments and rebuild after a really traumatic exit, this one's for you. We're going to take that deep emotional pain and turn it into a crystal clear, structured path for personal growth. So let's dive right in.
Now, I want you to ask yourself this right now. What happens when the dust finally settles and they actually see what you were worth all along? Because honestly, here's the undeniable truth we found in the source material. When all the noise fades and the exit is fully finalized, the realization of what they threw away always arrives. They start replaying those old moments, noticing the quiet, steadfast support that they just completely ignored, but usually it arrives way too late. And remember this, their regret doesn't suddenly increase your value. It just proves your worth was completely real the whole time.
Phase 1, the revelation.
Okay, so this phase kicks off with what we call the inciting incident. It's that painful moment where the truth doesn't just whisper, it literally slams shut like a heavy iron door. Betrayal exposes this fascinating concept called spiritual blindness. It's the betrayer's total incapacity to appreciate profound devotion. Seriously, they can live right beside your loyalty and just call it ordinary. They can be held by your absolute sincerity, yet still chase after empty illusions. They literally cannot recognize the absolute gold they're standing right on top of.
Now, for professional adults navigating the modern dating world, you've absolutely got to treat these behavioral signs as your early warning checklist. People with spiritual blindness, they'll mistake your deep compassion for dependence, and they'll take your patience as outright permission to cross your boundaries. They tend to romanticize what's completely unreachable while neglecting the dependable person right in front of them. Spotting these red flags early is absolutely crucial for your emotional survival, because these individuals will happily benefit from all your goodness and somehow still decide it just wasn't enough.
So, you're transitioning out of innocence right now. And innocence is simply that part of you that worshipped appearances, the part that hoped the truth would magically change if you just laughed a little harder or loved him a little better. But now you're moving into wisdom, and wisdom doesn't worship a beautiful mask. Instead, it critically reads behavioral patterns and measures someone's true character.
Phase 2, leaving the toxic ruins.
Right, so after the unstable structure of a relationship completely collapses, your emotional survival and, honestly, your ability to keep your professional focus depends entirely on one critical psychological distinction, and that is the difference between healthy regret and toxic rumination. Look, we have to stop visiting the shrine of a dead relationship. We can't keep endlessly rereading old text messages, hoping the ghost is going to speak back to us. Instead, we need to allow our mourning to be a cleansing fire. Let it burn away the illusion and clear the space for a truer, much more grounded reality.
To really process all these raw emotions and reclaim your personal space, you need a daily routine. Pay close attention to how the timeline of your inner voice naturally evolves. At first, on day 1, it's trembling. By week 1, it's just so tired. Month 1 hits, and it's angry. But then, month 3, it gets quiet but certain. And by month 6, it's steady. You just need to allow yourself to feel these daily. You're moving through these perfectly necessary phases toward an unshakable steadiness. And trust me, that steadiness is worth far more than any late apology.
To help you actually reach that steady phase, I highly recommend building a morning reflection practice. Before you even start your workday, take a breath and ground yourself with these affirmations. Tell yourself, I see what happened, I no longer deny my own experience, I do not need their confession to validate my pain. And, maybe most importantly, their betrayal was about their character, not my worth. Building this morning routine will do wonders to reinforce your emotional independence and start rebuilding your soul.
Phase 3, the framework of red flags.
To make absolutely sure you are never manipulated this way again, we have to build a definitive framework for recognizing recurring red flags. And this relies on 3 vital questions. Here's your very first one. Who are they when they do not get their way? Wisdom critically asks how someone reacts when their personal convenience is challenged. Really notice what happens to their behavior the precise moment your boundaries prompt them with a simple no.
All right, question number 2. What do their actions look like when the truth becomes uncomfortable, or when loyalty actually costs them something? You want to notice who they become when love requires actual mature responsibility, rather than just being some mere obligation or a fun little distraction.
And the final framework question: who are they behind closed doors? These reflective questions act as your absolute protective shield. By running new partners through this exact framework, you're literally saving yourself from repeating the same painful story with different faces. And you finally stop confusing electric chemistry with actual, genuine character.
Phase 4. Rebuilding personal dignity.
Okay, this brings us to the ultimate paradigm shift. We're moving your focus totally away from their late regret and anchoring it firmly to your own inherent, undeniable worth. Here's the deal. Never, ever confuse being chosen with being cherished. Someone can loudly claim you, they can constantly desire your presence and keep you near just for their own convenience, yet still entirely fail to honor you or offer you a safe home. Real love, it doesn't reward your faith with humiliation.
There's this beautiful concept. The heart does not belong to those who break it. The heart belongs to the one who learns from it. Let that sink in. Your value wasn't just miraculously created the day they finally woke up and realized what they lost. You were out there doing the emotional work of two people. Your value, your deep loyalty, your peace, they existed long before that person ever touched your life. Your heart belongs to you, the learner.
So how do we actively awaken? Well, by taking these actionable steps. First, stop asking, why did they do this? And start asking, what is life showing me right now? Recognize that the betrayal actually forced you to leave a really fragile illusion. By establishing firm boundaries, you create a shield for your self-respect. This helps you maintain clear decision-making and professional focus, even when your personal life feels completely upended. You're basically transitioning beautifully from being a victim of deception to becoming a witness of your own incredible awakening.
Now, as a professional adult rebuilding your life, how do you know this process is actually working? Well, the person who once completely shook your emotions will honestly just start to look incredibly ordinary to you. You'll realize that an apology without changed behavior, it's just decoration on the same harm. You'll stop confusing attachment with destiny, and most importantly, the absence of that toxic relationship will finally, truly feel like ultimate freedom.
Phase 5. Alertness without cynicism. As we wrap up this hero's journey, we've got to address one final, vital distinction for your future success. Your life is now split into before and after. Before, you were entirely open. After, you are alert. But listen to me here. Do not let that alertness rot into cynicism. Cynicism just makes you smaller, harder, and distrustful of absolutely everyone forever. Alertness simply means you're refining your discernment. Sure, you're a bit slower to trust, but you are so much quicker to notice those red flag patterns. Please do not let one person's profound dishonesty poison your ability to trust all the good people who are still out there.
Because true strength is not staying where you are broken again and again. True strength is leaving the room where your soul is being starved. Actively choosing the pain of feeling over the pain of staying, that builds a remarkably mature heart. It creates a spirit that is actually softer and more grounded, yet vastly stronger in its boundaries. Basically, you are finally learning to love without abandoning yourself.
As you step confidently into your brand new life, take this final, really provocative thought with you. You survived what honestly should have shattered you. Your dignity is yours to keep forever. So, what's it going to be? Will you let their spiritual blindness dictate your worth? Or will you use this cleansing fire to build a foundation they could never even begin to understand? Remember, your peace, once you truly understand it, is absolutely priceless. Thanks so much for joining me in this explainer today, and keep building that unshakable foundation.
That's all for today, beautiful souls. What if the things you keep experiencing in life aren't a coincidence? The same relationship lessons, the same emotional loops, the same numbers appearing at strange times. If that idea intrigues you, I placed something in the description that gives a personalized numerology breakdown. Completely up to you, but it's pretty fascinating. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and follow for more angel number insights, spiritual mindset upgrades, and manifestation wisdom. Thanks for supporting and watching. Have a great day.